Hey guys, just wanted to make a quick disclaimer before you guys watch this video. Wanted to go over a couple of things that this video is for the patch before New World nerfs Fortify, and so I know there's going to be a really big patch coming where Fortify is getting nerfed super hard. Shirking fortifications getting nerfed super hard, just fortify and everything in general is getting nerfed really hard. So when that next big patch comes out, this video will change a little bit here for the gameplay, but the mechanics and everything should still be the same. Um, this build in particular, my build I should say, it's based on 5 times shirking fortification and a shirking and power amulet. The goal with my build here was to reach fortify cap as soon as possible, reach empower cap as soon as possible. So basically I try to be max fortify and max empower at all times to live all the clumps and to kill all the clumps. But with this new patch that's going to be coming out, a lot of things are going to change. You just wanted to keep that in mind so that you guys are aware. But regardless, here's the video of how to Bruiser. If you guys want to improve with my gear and gameplay, breaking everything down. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks so much. Yo, what's up guys? Wanted to make a quick little YouTube video or uh, breakdown, I should say, with how to Bruiser. With the first clip that you guys saw, I'm running 5 resilient and 5 shirking forts. And for my amulets, I'm running health slash protection and shirking and power. And for my ring, I'm running invigorated punishment, keen awareness, and refreshing ward because I'm stacking refreshing ward. And I want to kind of go through my gameplay a little bit here. I'm running whirlwind, and for perk wise, for my weapons, I actually run the wrecking ball perk on my boots and the whirlwind perk on my gloves. Reason being is because uh, my good friend Matt Mardigan rode me those boots with wrecking ball, and then same thing with my gloves. Rode them with whirlwind, and so that's why I'm running whirlwind and wrecking ball. You don't have to run whirlwind and wrecking ball. Um, it's one of those things where it's a want, not a need. Only perks you need is insatiable gravity well and sundering shockwave. It will make your life a lot easier if you run charge as well, because with charge you don't need a perk. If you're running whirlwind and you don't have the fortifying whirlwind perk, don't run whirlwind. Charge is probably going to be, better for your gameplay here. And so this is going to be that guy Zaz Bruiser 101 philosophy. I've seen a lot of melees play, and I've seen a lot of VODs, and a good chunk of melees, I would say like 90% of them, they all have the same, some of the same issues and mechanics. And if you're a cracked bruiser and you know what you're doing, this video might not be the video for you. This video is kind of for newer players or players that are looking to be a better bruiser. Maybe they just picked up the build and they wanted to kind of get around the mechanics of it, especially if they want to improve in wars. And so I haven't seen any videos of giving that a breakdown, so I thought, hey, I might as well give a breakdown of my gear and how to actually bruiser. Um, there's going to be some very advanced techniques here, and whether you run whirlwind or whether you run charge for your great axe, the gameplay is going to be uh, a little different for charge and whirlwind, but the philosophy is still the same essentially. And so, number one, the most important thing here, and I have my VOD right here pulled up. I just wanted to go through the good things I did, bad things I did. But straight off rip, this is the number one issue that I see a lot of bruisers have when they play bruiser, and they could be the most cracked, mechanically sound bruiser in duels. But this is where a lot of melees have issues: is consume usage. If you look at my consumes here, I have 100 regens, 100 health potions. This is my cleanse. I have 6 cleanse, and I have 20 oak flesh. And the magical thing, or number one thing that you guys should be looking at here is regens, and then oak flesh. I would say is kind of the second thing that you want to look at the end of every war. So this is the beginning of the war here, 47 seconds before the war, and I'm gonna just skip to the end, so you guys can kind of see how my consumes look like when the war is over here. So let me skip through here. Okay, pause. So if you look at my consumes now, I have 56 regions left, 81 health potions, and 3 oak flesh. So if we do the math, I used 44 regeneration potions in this war, and I used 17 oak flesh bombs this war. I actually averaged about 45, 50 regions per war, um, every war essentially. And the highest regions I've ever used is 58. I think based off of like the cooldown on your earring, like refreshing toes, the most you can use for regions is 60 for a 30-minute war, and then for oak flesh or gemstone dust, max is 20, based off of the cooldowns. And so my personal highest for most regions used is 58, but on average I usually burn about 45 to 60 regions. And this is important because I see so many VODs of bruisers where they get completely blown up and they start blaming the healer. You know, like, healer, where's my heal at? Where's the heal? And it's actually their fault because they didn't use their consumes. And you want to set your healer up for success. And so your healer's not going to get to you all the time, but they're going to try their best to get to you. And if you don't use your regens and you die in half a second, it's your fault. Like, you didn't pop your regens to keep your health constantly healing. You didn't pop oak flesh, and that's why you got blown up in 1 second. And so let me go back to the beginning of my VOD here. Go over my gameplay here. And so that's the very first thing that I wanted to showcase here was consumes, 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 consumes. That's probably one of the most important things here. The second thing that I see a lot of players do is they stam themselves out. And when you stam yourself out, it's certainly scenarios where it makes sense to stam out because you want to give your healer that 1 second for them to pop a heal and heal you, right? Like your buying time, like that 1 second could save your life. But your stam, and in some cases it makes sense to stam out. So this is going to be kind of the opening of the gameplay here. My group, our assignments was essentially outside of fort, um, be top of the point and kind of finding their road. And then if we do get into the fort, we're point team basically for B. And so there's usually kind of two gameplays of playing melee. You're either lead melee or follow-up melee. And so for my group here, Dracodium, aka Sparky Boy, that's my lead melee. But just because you're lead melee doesn't mean that you don't listen. You know, like we're playing off of each other. Like he makes the calls, I try to get to him. Um, I follow up on him. This is really important. You have to be good at finding your teammates, playing with them. using combos and abilities together. So this is our opening here for this war. So I see my melee here, and there's gonna be some crazy lag here, I think, or not. So we're hovering right side here, and so this is high IQ here. Is we're like the only group that went this side, and we're scanning the enemies here, and I even called out. I even called out there's like 15 here, 15, 20 here, and our army's this side. We have like 15, 20 people for our little 5 stack, maybe decks here, and so we should be winning this fight, right? And so right here, we're kind of measuring, we're gauging the fight here. We're gauging the fight. Oh yeah, here's the lag that I mentioned earlier. So we're lagging. Let's skip the lag here. Lagging. So right here, because it's lagging so much, I feel kind of feel like we might teleport to the clumps. So I'm hitting my consumes here because I'm seeing everything, and I kind of want to fight here because this is where the clumps are at. I see it forming, and I pop my consumes here,
Oh my god.
and then my bruiser teleported here.
Oh,
I see all this red, but then I see this clump, and there. Let me go back actually.
I'm grabbing you.
So something that's very little, that's very minuscule, even with the lag, and there's gonna be moments without the lag. They're giving us a lot of space here. So this is free space. Like they're backing up, they're running
Oh
back.
my god.
And so if they give you free space and you're a bruiser, you want to take it. But you also want to be conscious of your positioning so that um, you can get out if they collapse on you.
Oh.
So there's a lot of space. I see blues here. They're taking the space, and I see that this red, they're looking to crash here, right? And I see where I want to hit. I ping my grab and I tell my team, hey, I'm grabbing here, and I think I even say I'm grabbing Apaban.
I'm grabbing you.
So I hit a fat graph, right? I get like 4 people here. One, two, three, four, maybe even five. These dudes come in here, and because my graph clumped them up so hard, one of these melee's instincts, or the more you play, you'll find out, is a lot of melee's first instincts when they get grabbed is they instantly shockwave so they can get out the graph because it's uncomfortable. And so I threw a grab, I instantly shockwaved here so that I can stun them. And because I see so many of my melees following up, I want to stun them to keep them in place so that my army, my team could follow up and wipe this clump. I land my shockwave, they land their shockwaves,
Oh, big wipes, big wipes.
and then boom, we just killed that clump right there. Like that was a big wipe that we just did.
I'm grabbing
And
you.
so the usual combo is actually gravity well, you shockwave, you go back to your axe, and then you maelstrom, because with the insatiable gravity well, your gravity well pops twice. But I saw there were so many people here that I wanted to, and I knew my stun landed first, that I wanted to stun lock them, tie them down, and hopefully the rest of the damage from my teammates could kill this clump. So that's why I Wrecking Ball on top to double
Oh,
stun,
big wipes, big wipes, big wipes.
but my Wrecking Ball didn't land, but it was enough damage regardless to wipe the clump. And as we wipe this clump, this is also another thing that you kind of want to look at as a bruiser is you want to keep looking for spacing. And so we wipe this clump.
Oh, big wipes,
The
big
moment I
wipes.
see these kids die, I immediately look to see who's pushing up on me, or if there's anybody pushing up on me, and I want to take this space.
Big wipes.
So look, they're giving us all this space, and right now we just fully took control of the B point here, right? But at the same time, you want to position yourself here to be able to get out. And notice during that whole fight that I took right here, regions and Oak Flash was popped. So I took as little damage as possible. And plus, if I did take damage, my regions were, still currently healing me. And if my healer can't heal me, I have the health pot to top myself off if my healer can't get to me. This is very important in order of when to use it. A lot of bruisers I see, they hit the health pot first, regens last, and by the time you need the regen, you're gonna be dead already. So your regens should always be on cooldown, especially if you're in the middle of a fight. And so I take this fight here because look, I turn back, so many blues. Like
Oh, big
I'm gonna
ones,
go
big
back and
ones,
pause it.
big ones.
I turn back here. There's so many blues here. I know these are blues because we just wiped it. So right now, because they gave us the space here, I want to kind of form a wall here and take more space from them here. So I'm playing super aggressive, and not only that, I'm communicating that as well. I'm calming that. Hey, I'm pushing up. I'm pushing up here. I'm going here. So see, look, like right here, I did a lot of damage. I got my abilities off. I didn't. I kind of got paranoid that I was gonna get crashed on, so I did all the damage and I went back to a safe spot. And there's a sacred ground here, and then I also popped a regen. So my personal philosophy with cleanse potions, this was back in the day before you were able to just spam it. Cooldown was 4 seconds. You would just spam it all the time, and if you're a great bruiser, you basically live all the clumps, right? But now with the cleanse pot nerf being like 20 seconds, 21 seconds here, I definitely recommend 90% of the time when you get out of clump, you save your cleanse to get out of clump, not when you enter. There is that 10% where you will use your cleanse pot to enter a clump, but I definitely recommend 90% of the time using the cleanse pot to get out of a clump and saving it then. But I felt paranoid I was gonna get crashed on, so I backed up, hit a cleanse pot so that I could be safe here.
Happy Sparky.
And so I'm looking at my bruiser here, and I'm telling, hey, I'm pathing on you because I see him. And you want to call out your abilities. And me personally, I like letting my 5 stack know whether I'm looking at them or not. So right here, I'm looking at them, and I see a lot of these low people over here as well. So I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to hit that. And so my bruiser called his graph. And so right here, I'm just trying to follow up. I don't have anything down at the moment, so I'm just trying to light attack. And there's something very important and something very little. A lot of bruisers that I see, they just spam abilities, right? But there's something very important is um, learning and knowing when to simply just light attack with your great axe, because you're going to be at least 300 strength, and with light attacking your great axe here, you're going to be building Mauler's furry stacks, and each light attack is going to hurt so much more. Plus your light attack has grit, and if your axe has thwarting strikes on it currently, you're going to be hitting like a truck.
Yep.
So I took that fight. I was light attacking, light attacking. I got hit pretty hard, and I didn't really like the fight here, but my healer got me here.
Yep.
And so I was fighting this guy a little bit to help my bruiser, and then I look back to the points to kind of see how the points looking. I see all these low kids here, and I really want to wipe this right here. I see them move, and I grab, and I'm pinging my graph while I'm throwing it, and I would have loved to, use my shockwave hammers to stun it, but this is kind of what I get. And then kill squad comes, hits me, and I back off or try to back off. And there's something that's very important. So notice, um, Vinkel, he's running a greatsword, and he roots me because greatsword has roots on it. So this is why I say save your cleanse to when you leave a fight. So the instant I get cleanse here, or I get rooted here and I get plagued and all that, my reaction and your reaction, if you get stun locked by a shockwave, or you get screened by a void gauntlet, or you get rooted by somebody with a root ability, or if you get rooted by somebody with a great sword here, your number one priority before you even hit the health pot is cleanse. Like, they root me, I insta cleanse. Saves me right here, watch. I insta cleanse, everything gone. And so even if I did hit a health pot, I'll be healed for more than if I just panic health pot. I would have died anyway because I was rooted in plague. Health pot probably would have healed me for like 800 health, and I would have died anyway. But with me using my cleanse here, this is what saved me from getting ganked here, from bad positioning from myself, to be honest. So And at the same time, I'm also Kami. I'm pushing back. I'm trying to find my healer so that she can heal me. But I cleanse myself, get away from any abilities. I have 4 seconds of being immune to CC abilities at the moment. I'm backing up. I stam out, and I'm stamming out on purpose because they're collapsing on me hard. I have a lot of aggro, so this is one of those few times where it makes sense to stam out. Like if I didn't stand myself out there, I probably would have died. But right here, I'm just trying to buy time for my healer to hit me with the heal, or buy me enough time to get health pot off before I get stun locked or something like that. So look, like he's full aggro pushing me. I hit a health pot, heals me for like 4k. And then not only that, but my healer hits me right here as well. And so now this is kind of one of those things where you're fighting clumps, you're feeling out the fight, but then being able to get out of the fight into a safe spot at the same time if things go wrong here. And all my consumes are up. And I went back to my healer. My healer healed me here.
Top of point here. And Oppo. Oppo, look at Oppo.
Yeah, I'm with you, Spark. I'm with you. I'm with you.
And so my bruiser causes graph here, and this is super important. This is very high level bruiser technique here. This is how I can tell when somebody's a good bruiser or not. So instead of messing up your bruiser's combos or stuns, I should say, you want to stun on top of your bruiser. So your bruiser lands a wrecking ball, you land a wrecking ball, they land a shockwave, you land a shockwave, or shockwave wrecking ball. You want to keep that combo going so they die here. That's huge. And so that's how I could tell when a bruiser is good or when a bruiser is not good.
I'm pulling.
So we get that wipe here.
Love it, kid.
And something that I do as well is positioning. This goes down to positioning. I know it seems super little, but the whole time we're fighting this guy or this clump, I'm looking here and I see all this red. I never really want to give my back because I don't know how many is gonna come and hit me. So right here, I see all these people coming,
I'm pulling.
and so it's kind of scary for me. So like I'm fighting really aggressive, but I see all that red, so I'm repositioning and I'm scanning the area. This is really high level, bruiser IQ at in the moments IQ. Like you have to size up the fights and know when you're safe and know when you're not safe.
I'm,
Red
I'm,
top
I'm
right.
grabbing Valor.
And so I declumped, but then I come back to the fight because I'm full healed.
Here, my grab here. My grab here.
And
Get
so
in there, Red team.
Yep.
right here we're winning the points ticking, and I kind of want to hold them here as much as I can without dying, right? So like
Yep.
right here, I hit my abilities here. I try and
Nice.
hit this clump. I miss my wrecking ball, and because I miss my abilities here, and I see a lot of red behind me, I know they're behind me. I don't want to stay here too long. I see a lot of bruises where they stay in the fight way too long. They get countergraphed and they die. So notice how fast I get in, I get out, and somebody tried to scream me, but I got out just in time with the clump. So I got in, got out. He screamed, he missed the scream. This dude on the bottom missed the scream. And then all of a sudden, I walk up and I see this clump. I'm like, you know what? This clump could die.
I'm touching point a little bit. I'm touching.
And so I'm touching point and I see all this chaos in their road, and I'm like, dude, these three guys, they're kind of overextended here. So like, we could pressure this.
I'm top of point. I'm top of
And
point.
so this is something that's really important as well. This is a very high level technique to do as well. You never really want to detonate in the middle of a clump or when everybody's looking at you and they're trying to kill you, right? Because with the detonate, you take extra damage and you die. But one of those few occasions where it's okay to detonate is when you have stuns to follow up. So I see this clump, I'm hitting this clump, I see how low they are, and I'm like, dude, I got a stun lock here, so I'm gonna shockwave to rend them, and I use my detonate here, and hopefully my detonate pops by the time my shockwave lands, so it's like a super combo with mega damage here. So look, right there, just a shit ton of wipes here, and so instantly, I know the point team is strong. We got a lot of damage here. We kill a lot of people. I instantly turn around to see who else is coming to the fight, so that I could be aware of myself here. So right here, I got to that clump. It was a very scary clump. I still could have died. My consumes was bad. I could have died. We got rid of the clump, and I instantly repositioned myself, and I gauged the area. And then right when I got out, look at this clump. They just formed, and I was just there like a second ago. And so I cleansed to kind of be safe here.
More, so.
Yep.
And then I look at the fight still, and then I follow up,
Keep getting there, top of point here, so. 1 to 5.
and then here I stun lock combo, or at least I try. So this right here was super
Getting there, top of
scary.
point here, so. 1 to 5.
I realized I didn't have a shockwave, and I was like, oh shit, I'm in deep. So I instantly got out of this clump.
Our decks are situated now, so.
So it's
Grab
like
in here.
you want to get in the clump, but if it's a dangerous clump or it doesn't feel safe, you want to get out.
In here.
And then I still see that they're forming,
Big
Come on,
grab.
Sam, got this.
and so I just grab like 5 kids here,
Cream on them.
and there's something
Grab in
super
here, grab in
little
here.
that you won't see unless I pause it. I throw a huge grab. I catch like 5 kids in this grab.
Big
Come on,
grab.
Sam.
I do one light attack, try and build up my Maulus Fury, and I already have 4 stacks of power here. One light attack,
Go, Sam.
and then I Maelstrom to try and get max damage as much as I can here. And something important too is I have Shockwave available, but a lot of people will instantly switch to Hammer and Shockwave, but I have so much smaller Furry stacks here that I kind of want to keep my axe out and just light attack because I'm doing so much damage at the moment.
I'm on deval.
I just want to keep my axe out. I just want to keep my axe out. Just keep your axe out. Just keep your axe out and light attack. That's the a very small thing that a lot of bruisers don't do is they don't keep their axe out and light attack. They see their abilities are down and they just spam it. But certainly keeping your axe out, your axe is most of your damage, so you want to keep it out and definitely try and light attack as much as you can. And kind of what I did here is we killed this clump, and notice we're winning the point so hard here, points ticking, that I'm looking at the free space and I'm looking at enemies. I see some enemies here, but this is the clump I'm mainly worried about because they're the closest to the point, and they're giving us so much free space here that I want to take this space and box them out from hitting the B point. So look, I see so much red here, and I'm like, I want to stop this rotate to the point because right now they want to save the point here, right? So I whirlwind into the clump, and because I have the fortifying whirlwind, I know I'm super fortified right now. But this is still a very dangerous clump. Look at all my debuffs. This is still very scary. So I'm getting out of the clump because I knew there was a lot of reds there. It was dangerous, and notice my regen. I'm always popping it, always popping it. And then because I'm getting out the fight, I'm cleansing again. This is super big um, on how to basically live clumps and live fights. And so I double check point, make sure its point's good, and then look, we're boxing out all these reds. But again, this is still so scary because if you see my team, they took the space and they pull back. And so I still want to deny a free path to the point. And so I see all this clump, so I'm stun locking on the clump here. And so again, take out my I stun lock, take out my axe, one light attack, Maelstrom. And then my melee, he grabbed here, and notice I'm pinging all my grabs, and we're talking the whole time. He grabs me, and I see my melee stun lock here, right? He stun locks here. He stuns all 3 of these kids. I turn around and I look at him, and I throw a huge grab here. This is a ginormous grab. I have like 5 kids here. And so I know point's gonna tick, or we're gonna take the point, and point's like right here. So they need like just a little bit to get on the point. But right here, I'm trying to delay them, and so I'm like grabbing them and I'm detonating on top of this as well because I see that they're low at the same time, and I see my army looks like they're trying to push up. And so this is like one of those times where it's like a high risk, high reward moment. I'm like, you know what? I hit a huge grab. I'm gonna get all this damage off, and they seem to be so worried about the point of jumping on the point that they're kind of leaving me alone. So I just detonate on top of them, and I kill so many of them here. I kill 4 kids here, and we take the point. So this is like the best bruisers do a lot of the little things correct. Like it sounds really simple, but it's basically using consumes, analyzing how many enemies there are, how the clumps look like, but using consumes, getting in, getting damage, and then getting out without getting counter grabbed. So my bruiser's making the call here. He pings it, and I ping it too. This is so important because if people say on me, it's like where's on me, you know? So you could say on me, but make it ping so they can see it. So me and my bruiser, we both ping. Hey, this is what we're looking at here. Look here, because we call a lot of people here. I get damage in, and then because we get so much damage, I'm trying to stun lock because I'm assuming people are gonna counter grab us, but they're not. And so I instantly I get my damage in, nobody's in here, and I see all these reds coming down on us here. So I hit my stun, or I tried to hit my stun, and I instantly get out because they're trying to counter grab us. So I instantly get out and I save my stamina here and I dodge that guy stuns. So I stabbed myself out, but this is one of those scenarios where it's okay because I didn't want to get a shockwave there. It would have been bad, and my chances of dying would have been pretty high.
I think so.
Let's push up on their healers here.
And so this is something that goes back to just brawling and keeping your axe out and light attacking here.
You?
So right here, we're winning to fortify, and notice I'm getting in the clumps, but I'm getting out at the same time. I'm not staying there too long. And again, notice the regen. I ping my grav. I see the grav, or I see the clump for me, and I say, hey, I'm my grav here. I hit 4 kids here. I stun lock. I might detonate here. I detonate. I wrecking ball. Keep them in the clump. I go to my axe, maelstrom combo,
I have
and my detonate pops off here, and I kill like a kid or two.
On top point, I'm looking at you, Pop. Looking for you, Pop.
I have my Ditto for next
And so something that's very subtle as well that a lot of people don't catch is you want to take these fights, but you also kind of want to make sure that you're aware of your surroundings and especially your healer. You don't want to be too far from your healer. Like my healer is right here, so I know this area is safe for me to fight on because if I'm in trouble, she can heal me.
I'm looking.
So I'm always looking at the point. I see how heavy the point is here. I see the low clumps. I come in and I'm just light attacking. I'm just light attacking, bending all this furry and trying to get damage.
Look at me. I'll come down.
And
They're looking at me hard anytime here.
and something that this kind of just comes with doing duels is dodging shockwaves. I'm light attacking. I see the stun. I see the flash, and I instantly dodge.
Look at me.
It's just mechanics at this point.
They're deep. They're deep Aquabon here.
I notice my consumes are always rolling. Consumes are always rolling. And we're kind of clump fighting here, and I really want to take this fight because I also notice that we're winning the clump fights here.
Stun locking point.
And I'm calling my stuns. I'm calming where I'm at. We're pinging where everything's at.
Yep. I'm grabbing their top of road here. Don't you care?
And notice I didn't like that clump because I got stun locked here.
Grabbing their top.
I got stunned right here.
Don't you care?
I didn't like the clumps. I instantly disengaged.
Looking at.
And sometimes you have to stand out to engage. You could argue, oh, you only need to jump once, but I was feeling that fight and I didn't like the fight, so I stamped out to get out of there.
Here, top row, top row.
And so I ping, or I didn't ping, but I calmed where I was at.
Coming back.
Yep. Pulling.
I'm with you, Sparky. I'm with you, Sparky.
And so I'm finding my lead bruiser while I'm taking all these fights at the same
Gotta
time.
dip out. Gotta dip out. Stand opposite. Safe on.
And this is just mechanics right here. I'm predicting abilities like I know I'm hitting this guy hard. He's shockwaves to try and counter me, and I know he's gonna be super aggro on me, and I just shockwave to counter him as well.
Looking bottom right.
And then I got my stuns up, but this time I'm looking at the point,
Come me, Sparky.
I've got their top right. Top right. Top right. Top right.
and at the same time I'm looking for my bruiser as well. And this is actually something that's pretty big.
Top right. Top right. Bottom right.
So a lot of bruisers would, because they get rooted by like this grav and they're taking damage, they would panic jump, panic stam themselves out and die. But you're a bruiser, you're a medium bruiser, you're a thick boy. So I eat this damage knowing my cleanse pot is coming off of cooldown. And I could also pop my health potions and regions as well. See, look, I pop my regen, didn't go off. I pop my cleanse, and then I pop my health pot just to be extra safe. And then I'm looking at my bruiser, and then we're just looking at all of this here.
One girl top here.
Dead here.
We're taking space, we're coming back cleaning up our area, and then we're coming back here. And then we're pinging, and we're stun locking on top of each other here
I'm bouncing.
to get these wipes.
Dead on him.
Stun. Look at me.
Big wise, big wise.
Kills. Top left. Top left.
Yeah, I'm there.
Not cheat. Go. Come on. Go back on. Go back on.
Heal here.
So this is something that's big too. So I'm taking this fight, and I'm just clump fighting, right? And I'm just light attacking with my axe. I didn't like the fight because I took so much damage. I felt the fight, I didn't like it, and a lot of people's instant reaction is, oh, let me health pot. Like, my instant reaction is, let me cleanse first, then health pot.
Go back on. Go back on.
Heal here.
And on top of that, my healer topped me off. So cleansing is so important. Like, if I just use health pot without cleansing, I would have only healed for like 1k off of my potion. But because I cleansed and I got all the debuffs off me, especially plague, and I hit my health pot here, I'm healed for so much here.
I'm grabbing that clump.
And I gave my healer enough time to heal me as well. Another big thing is calling for heals when you need it. Like it's okay to be selfish as a bruiser. Like they're supposed to keep you up. Like you're the main reason why you win or lose a war. You have the most white potential of the war. So um, do not feel like it's selfish to call for a heal. Like call for a heal and be aware enough to use your consumes to get your healer enough time to heal you. Because I could have gotten blown up there in like a second if I didn't pop anything. Like consumes is so important, and stamina
Grab
usage
that
is
pump,
so
Yo,
important as well.
limb,
Yo,
watch
yo.
out.
So we wipe this here.
My grab here, I'm ping.
And so kind of the
Advance left, advance left.
main thing
Big scout on them.
so far that we've covered
Behind you.
is
We're
kind of
circling.
analyzing the fights, analyzing the clumps, analyzing the reds here, learning
Lean stun here. Stun these two kids. Weird
when
spot.
to
I'll
get
stop ping.
into a clump
I
and
got
then
you.
when to leave a
Two
clump,
dies.
which is what we did a really good job
Play
of.
this. Play right
But
center.
consumes and stamina management, that's
Here.
the
Push up.
really
My
big
grab
thing
on top.
here.
My grab on top here.
I'm grabbing you, Swaller. My grab right left.
And so a lot of people would see this move right here
My grab on top here.
and they'll be like, this is such a stupid play. Like,
Shake.
why
Push
would
right here.
you
Push up. Push up.
My grab
whirlwind
on top.
into this
My grab on
clump?
top here.
So
Grabbing you, Swaller.
whirlwind gameplay and charge gameplay is a little bit different. And so when I whirlwind into this clump and I'm hitting them, I'm building Mullis Furry stacks and I'm building Fortify. So even if they do stunlock me, I know that I could basically tank it, and I have my consumes up as well. So whirlwind into a clump, you could definitely do it, but it's a very high level technique to do and not get punished for it. So I whirlwind into the clump here. I take a shit ton of damage, and I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of scary. I
Healing for you here.
I my instant reaction is cleanse, but I got my health pot off and my cleanse at the same time.
I got up.
I hit the regen and I go back to the clump because now I have like 2 seconds to
Stun
fight,
this, stun this.
Look at me. Look at me.
and I know we can wipe this clump.
Pulling.
Good kills. Good
And
kills.
so I'm hitting this clump, I'm getting healed, but I'm being aware of
Okay,
where
hit
all
one
the
guy.
enemies
Yo,
are
yo,
at as
watch
well.
out.
So I see
I'm
this
grabbing one.
enemy, I
Right here.
ping, and I call the grab,
My grab.
and I stun lock it, and I detonate on top because we're both stun locking on top of each other here, and we just get a shit ton of kills here in this little corner. We kill so many fucking people there.
I'm gonna hit the door. Nobody's hitting door. I'm hitting door.
Mages, look at the horns here, please. Start from the right.
And so this is something that's big too, is when people are hitting doors, they stam themselves out hitting the door. You kind of want to be very cautious of that, because if you stam yourself out and then people drop down dead on top of you, you could just die. You just die here. So notice I'm jumping because I'm using Opal. I'm jumping, but I'm making sure that I have enough stamina to dodge anything if they do drop down on us.
Grab river here.
So I'm gonna just skip forward a little bit here. We don't really want to watch the whole freaking VOD.
Die behind this part.
I,
And so for fort fighting, this is huge. You want to save your cleanse pods for the push. And so we're point team here. So usually we kind of call the push like, hey,
let's go again. Let's go. Let's go.
let's focus left, let's focus right.
Alright,
And
build
so
up.
we time our calls here. So when you cleanse, you better push through. I cleanse, you have like 5 seconds to push through. And these ice walls are now stopping a whirlwind user from going through. So this is their ice wall, right? You see this right here? This is their ice wall. I cleanse and I whirlwind through, and I just go through the ice wall.
I'm inside. I'm still locking.
Keep your
I'm
phone
in.
down.
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
in.
you're fine.
And so this is kind of big as well. So this is like,
I'm in.
Consuming, do I
so
get
we
it?
time this. I grab well, I whirlwind, I detonate, I cleanse, I push through, whirlwind through, and then I always maelstrom at the end of the whirlwind, because if I'm hitting people, I'm gonna have a lot of stacks and my whirlwind's gonna hurt,
I'm
right?
inside.
And then not only that, but I could always get stun locked here. So my instant reaction is once I get the whirlwind off, I'm gonna instantly stun lock here to kind of buy myself time so that I could get to a safe spot.
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
in.
you're fine.
So I'm becoming that I'm in here, and right here, this is all just positioning. I'm trying to cause as much chaos as possible here so that they look back at me so that my team can push in. And at the same time, if you guys didn't see that, um, I kind of want to stay close enough to the door to where my healer can heal me here, which they do right here. So I'm causing chaos. I have three guys hitting me, and I'm close enough still to my healer to where she can still heal me if I need the heal. So it's a very delicate balance of being aggressive, um, pushing in, taking that space that they give you, but also being um, close enough to your group that if something goes bad, your healer can still heal you at the same time. So all these healers, and this is something that you have to do live as well, is I'm analyzing who's all here. I see bruisers here, I see healers here, and so I know that these healers can't kill me. Like I'm a medium bruiser, so this is like kind of a safe area for me to dance and kind of find safe spots, I call it. And right here, I'm just grabbing, trying to get my group in, because me and my bruiser we got in, but for some reason, people are still getting hold up here. So I'm like, you know what? Let me hit some of these guys here, try and get some of my boys in here. And again, I'm just trying to bother them, cause enough havoc to where I get my team enough time. And this is so important to staying with your bruiser, because if you're in trouble or he's in trouble, you guys could stun lock on top of each other. And so he said, hey, I could die here. And so I'm looking at him, and I'm like, oh shit, let me get to him. I stun lock for him. He stun locks on top, and I'm telling him to get out. And I'm dancing, and notice I'm all plagued up and rendered. Instant reaction, cleanse. Cleanse, regen. Full life. And I stabbed out for it, but at least I know I'm not going to die right here. So I'm dancing and I'm trying to find a safe spot. Usually healers like to free cast here, so this is all positioning. Like I'm trying to find the safe spot, and I see all nothing but healers and casters here. This is the chokehold. This is where you die. This is where all their melees are at. So I'm like, you know what? Let me kind of stand around here, find a safe spot. And I actually die here because their kill squad just jumps me for no reason here, and I think their dex kills me. Yeah. So maybe what I should have done there, that was my positioning too, is maybe it was safer to kind of just jump back through the chokehold of B. But I felt really safe seeing all those casters, but there was really no other pressure in the fort. And so because there was no pressure, people could look inside the fort, and I was the only one in the fort, and I got punished for that. So that death is strictly due to my positioning too.
Look at Draconis, Draconis. We can go.
He's working. I'm 5 seconds behind. I'm
He dead
pushing in
again?
here. I'm pushing
And
in
so
here.
notice I push in, right? I instantly hit regen, I hit oak flush, I cleanse. Because these ice walls will stop you if you don't cleanse. So it's like if you're four phase, just cleanse and get in. It's really that easy.
Dead knowing. Dead knowing.
I
Dead knowing. Dead
cleanse,
knowing.
got in. Like that's it. And no, this is kind of bad because my cleanse ran out, and I see all these debuffs. So cleanse, get in, find a safe spot. Hopefully you can live for 13 seconds so your cleanse comes back, and then you can take the fight again. Or you can stun lock all these people and buy yourself enough time to not get punished here.
Pushing in the. Play what you gotta do here.
And so this is one of those things where, again, I live this actually. I live this. I come in, I see all these reds. Like our Seagate here is completely wiped. So whoever's at Seagate here, who's guarding Seagate, they all instantly turn and look at the point. So right here, I'm thinking like, oh shit, like I might die here. Like this is bad. This is bad positioning, right? And so I'm like, let me buy myself as much time as I can because I see so many bruisers here, so many people here that I stun lock all these guys, and I do a little bit of damage, and I instantly try to run. I instantly try to get out because I just want to slow them down to buy me time to run, right?
Pushing in the.
And then let me actually turn on my volume here.
Play what you gotta do here.
Like I'm using my consumables because I don't know if my healer could get me, right? So my healer calls sacred on Za. I'm like, oh shit, and then I hit my health pop. So I'm like, oh shit, let me play and let me play the sacred as much as I could, and I'm running five times Shuriken Fortification, so I know I could kind of tank this, and plus my heal is running Fortify Sacred Ground, so right here I'm kind of full Fortify cap
Need
right
a
here,
full pop.
and this is probably one of the most important things of being a bruiser, is knowing when you have a lot of aggro from enemies here, and playing your sacred, and staying close enough to your healer where they can heal you and using consumes here. And calling for heals. She heals me, right?
I need a.
Like right here she heals, she puts a sacred on me and she gives me a divine embrace. And then I calm right here. I need another one here, Pop, because that's her name. I call her Pop. And I tell her, hey Pop, I need another one. And she gives me another one.
I need another one pop.
And then I call her, hey, I need another one again. She gives me another one.
What?
And right here, I'm dodging as many stuns as I can here. I'm getting fucked here.
Your beat is not looking.
And she's pumping me. She's pumping the fuck out of me
Healthy
here.
here, care.
Yo, our CK is getting completely fucked over there.
And
They're
this
not
is
pushing in.
like at this
They're pushing
point
now,
of the
they're pushing
war,
now.
CK is
I'm
getting
so
pushed more
warmed
pop.
up in this war
Watch out, B does not look healthy
that
here,
like
care.
my stamina management here is like on
Yo,
point. Like
our
notice this dodge. I have 2 stam on my dodge. Like this is on purpose. Like you light attack with your great axe, and you're just timing your stamina management. And I'm
CK is
living
getting completely fucked
through all
over
these
there.
people,
They're not pushing
right?
in.
I'm just living. I'm playing the sacred. I'm living,
Pushing in now, they're pushing in now.
and I'm in danger here, right?
Look at your opponents here. Yep, good.
I feel that I'm in danger
They're
here.
pushing in now, they're pushing in now.
I hit a regen. I try to hit a cleanse here. I think I die here actually.
Pop consumes, let's go.
Oh no! I don't die.
Consume, let's go, let's go, go. Good kill,
Holy
good kill.
shit!
Pop
So
consumes, let's-
Pushing in now, they're pushing in now.
so I'm in danger. I have so much aggro here. I hit a regen to constantly keep me going, and I hit a
look at your
cleanse.
opponents here. Yep, good kill, good kills. Pop consumes,
I hit a
let's go.
cleanse right here to get all the debuffs off me, and I'm setting my healer up for success, and you're setting yourself up for success by using your consumes.
Oh.
And so right here, I'm like, holy shit, I'm
Let's
taking
let's
so
go,
much
let's
damage.
go, go.
But this is kind of where I made a mistake. I got 2
I'm going
aggro
top, right
here,
above the point here.
I think.
I'm with you.
That's where their
CK.
healers are.
Yeah, I think I die here.
My grab on hell, on hell.
Oh
Down,
yeah, I die
fuck.
here.
The back grab.
But yeah, like I can't believe I survived that. You know,
The spawn.
like only reason I lived that was consumes, stamina management, and calling my healer to
I'm
heal
walking
me.
through right
Like
now.
I need a
Top,
heal.
left side,
I
left
need
side.
another one.
Come to
I
you,
need
right,
another
come
one.
to you.
Like if they get you once, they might think, okay, you're good. But no, keep calling for it. You're a bruiser. Call for it. You know, it's so important.
I'm with you, Sparky. I'm with you, Sparky.
I have a
And
Ghetto. Look at
again,
me.
I'm playing with my
grab's
bruiser
as well.
here.
My grab's as well.
We ping the graph.
Care.
My
Yeah,
bruiser
I'm dead only
detonates.
two. I'm dead only two. We just wiped that. We just wiped that.
We wipe the point here, and then I'm super debuff, and I'm in the clump, and I might get crashed on, and I don't
Hey,
like
top
it.
left,
So I
left,
get
left.
cleanse. I save my cleanse to leave the fight.
Left side, top
Okay.
left.
I dodge out,
Okay,
and
okay,
I hit my health
I was
bar
just
here.
gonna.
Next on here.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find a
Play
sacred
life,
here
play
at the
life.
same
They're
time.
starting to come in. Care.
Playing my life here.
I literally just got nuked.
So I'm taking all this damage, but I'm also, I call it dancing on the point. Getting in, getting out, finding sacreds, getting damage back.
A is free
Trying
come
to find
through
the safe
as well,
spot
guys.
here.
I need
Here,
your
guys,
pop.
come on.
I need no.
And right here, there's no healers out there, and I'm probably too far from a healer, right? My positioning was bad. So I call her, I ask her, hey, I need a heal pop. And I'm jumping to the point, because usually there should be at least a friendly sacred on the point,
A
right?
is free to come.
So I'm jumping to the point, I'm trying to find a sacred, and I'm still unlocking the point to try and buy myself enough
There as
time to
well,
hopefully, if I'm
I need
in the
your-
sacred, or if I'm in a sacred, it's going to give me time to heal, and it's giving my healer time to heal me by still unlocking these guys.
I need another one here.
And she's pumping me. She's pumping me.
Oh shit.
Spawns are 25 by the way, Teddy. So play your lives here.
I need one here, pop. I got all the aggro here, pop.
And right here, I'm just
25,
living
by
this
the way,
clump.
guys.
And watch my
Realize-
consumes and my
One
stamina
pop.
here.
I'm-
I stand myself
through as well,
out
guys.
to try
I need
and
your pop.
buy my healer some time here, because I'm so low right here.
I need another one here.
Boom, she pumps me right here.
Oh,
I stam out because I needed that 1 second.
oh, shit.
She tells me no heals for 4, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm kind of freaking out.
Spawns are 25.
But right here, I'm dancing.
By the way,
I'm
Teddy, so
dancing.
play your lives here.
I need one
I
here,
have a
pop.
lot of aggro.
I got all the aggro here, pop.
I kind of have all the aggro, and I need all the heals. I'm the only one on the point. And notice, instead of panic healing using my health pot, I'm using my I'm trying to get my cleanse off first, because this is how you die. You instead of health pot, you die anyway, because you're rented, you're stunned, you're plagued. But cleanse saves me here.
Spawns are 50.
I get my cleanse off, and this is how when I knew I might probably gonna live this.
Here,
I
guys.
cleanse, I hit my health pot, and I'm finding the sacred ground. And I'm dancing the clump. I'm trying to find safe
Fuck,
spots
I'm
here.
getting shit out here. I'm getting shit out here.
And I'm coming to my healer. I need help. I'm actually telling her I'm getting shit on, because I am getting shit on here, right? But notice I'm buying my healer as much time as possible to keep me up.
Fuck, I'm getting shit out here.
I stun lock because I know they're all aggro
I'm
on
getting
me.
shit out here.
Pop a
I'm
regen,
coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
and I dip. Like I just lived that right there. Like this whole sequence right here is just the only reason why I live this
I need to heal your pop.
is just consumes and communicating with my healer. Consumes, stamina usage, and communicating with my healer.
So play your lives here.
I need one here, pop.
This whole
I
sequence.
got all the aggro here, pop.
Debuffs, cleanse, dance, try and find the safe spot here. And I'm still trying to put damage out. I'm still trying to stomach here.
Fuck, I'm getting shit on here. I'm getting shit on here.
Boston
Oh, I'm
five here.
coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming
I
back.
find a safe spot and I leave the fight.
Oh,
Boston five
Like
here.
that's
yeah,
huge.
I'm playing
you
like
know?
I'm playing gate. I'm playing
Don't
gate.
die, don't die, don't die.
And I'm
playing outside
coming
gate.
where I'm playing the whole
Yeah,
time
we are
as
demolishing
well.
MMP. I think when the spawns get a little bit bigger, we'll be fine.
So this is one of those rare times where I cleanse into a clump, right?
Guy,
I
we
see
are
this clump.
demolishing
I see this clump is huge, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna try and see if I could finish this clump.
MMP. I think when the
I cleanse, so I know I have 5 seconds to fight, right? I know I have 5 seconds to live.
spawns get a little bit bigger.
I get in, I light
So
attack,
just keep
and
playing
I
that way.
Yeah.
maelstrom,
Pop, we
and
got-
I instantly
I'm
get
back
out.
to get here.
Like I'm getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out. I don't stay. This whole VOD,
grab
I
the
don't
saves, I
stay
won't
at
be
one
there,
point. I'm not stagnant. Like I think that's the most important thing for
I'm gonna
bruisers
play here,
is
Pop. It's kind of safe here. I'm playing here a little bit.
is dancing, finding safe spots, even though you're assigned a
Where you
certain
at, Ben?
area, right? Like
I'm at
oh,
gate
your
here.
back a point, or your front a point, or your
Okay.
bonfire. Like if your area is
Get our ult
clear
here.
and you got that
That's my
space,
grab, my path
take
here.
that
My grab, my
space.
path here.
You know, take that free
See,
space.
Anthony?
Like you don't have to
I pushed it into
stick to
hell
one
here.
spot
I
here.
pushed it into hell.
Alright, let's
You
push
know,
up, push
like
up,
find the
push up.
safe spot. If they give you the space, take
Watch
it.
out, left side.
And this right here
path
is
here.
kind of
Okay.
one of those things where I'm finding the safe
Get our ult here.
space because I know usually healers free cast from here.
That's my grab.
So here's the choke point. Here's the death where my mouse is at. But I'm like, you know what? This nothing but
my path
casters
here.
back
My
here.
grab, my path here.
So this is actually a pretty
See,
safe
Anthony?
area for me to fight because
Stunning
all
him.
these guys are
I
healers.
pushed it into hell
Like
here.
they can't
pushed
kill
it
me
into hell.
in one
Alright,
shot
let's push
here.
up, push up, push up.
So this
Watch
is like
out, left
finding
side's
safe
not safe, by the
space.
way,
Yeah,
okay?
I'm looking
I
at
see my bruiser and I try and
Sparky, I'm down
follow
with you,
up on
Sparky.
him. Oh, we
Come
could have
back,
killed
come back.
this. I die
Please
here
don't hear.
though. And this is very important. This is very important.
Look
I
at
died.
Look at
I'm
points.
down, I'm down.
Why did I die?
I'm down.
How did I die? Really easy breakdown. I got blown up because I got rooted or I got
I'm looking
screamed
at
here,
you,
right?
Sparky, I'm down with you, Sparky.
I got screamed by this guy, Cade, right here, right? He screams me. I'm rooted.
Come back,
I'm
I'm down.
plagued.
Back.
I'm diseased.
I need some here.
I get hit by the shockwave. I'm rendered now. I didn't pop a region. I didn't pop a cleanse.
Alright.
I try and dodge the detonate because I saw it. I get hit with it anyway. I got hit for 5807 detonate, and I died to the
Look at
stun.
point. Look.
If I hit a region and a cleanse, I probably live this. To be honest with you, and notice the couple times where my consumes are bad, I die for it. Like it's so easy to die in this game. Your consumes are bad.
Anything
So
here?
like consumes are
Look at point. Look
huge.
at points.
I'm down.
If I cleanse and region, I live that.
Sponsor
I'm
seconds.
very confident I live that. Because I live that, I just whirlwind over here to one of these sacreds and I'm good.
Charging out here.
But because my consumes were bad, I died and I got
Five.
punished for it.
Right about me, okay? Intel right here on
Like
thing.
just goes to
Okay,
show
okay.
how
Top right,
important
top
your
right.
consumes
On my
are.
way, on my way. I'm
How
gonna
important your
grab that.
consume
Sparky. I'm
usage
grabbing
is.
that.
Look at me, look at me.
How
I'm
important
grabbing that. On top of you, on top of you.
your combos is
Good
and
kills,
stamina
good kills.
management here. Like notice right here, I'm looking at all these reds and I'm
Top right,
gauging
I got it, I
how
got it.
safe or how dangerous
Right on top of
this is.
you.
And I know this is dangerous. And I die here again. Why did I die? I didn't use cleanse, I didn't use oak
Right
flesh.
on point, bottom right,
I
bottom
died
right.
for
Look
it.
at
So
right,
back
right,
to
right,
back,
right
I
on
made
top of
this
you.
mistake here. This is how you die. This is how you lose wars. Because I'm not living. I'm throwing. I see all these clumps. I'm excited. I don't pop anything and I die and I get punished
Right
for
on
it.
point.
I'm
Bottom
pretty
right,
sure if I would have popped a oak flesh and regen here or cleanse spot here, I would have been able to reposition
I got it,
myself
right on top of
into
you.
a safe area here, and I
Right
probably
on
could have
point,
lived
bottom
that.
right, bottom right. Look at me. Get on point, guys.
Like
get on
notice
I went down.
the one time my consume usage is bad, I die. I die twice.
I'm coming.
You know?
Sparky coming in. Sparky, I'm grabbing you, Sparky, right in front of you.
But this is
Right on
pretty
top of you
much
here.
Bruiser 101. Like this is
point.
like
Look at point, look at point. I have.
what
I need you here. I need
Yeah,
you here.
yeah,
I have
yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to get better as a bruiser.
left
This
side,
is
pull
the
it.
the bot for you. You know, like it sounds so simple,
Big white, big
but
white,
it's
big white.
this is like a lot of things that it seems simple, but it's actually really hard to do correct because there's so much chaos. There's so many enemies, so many gravity wells, so many VGs. Like it's all bad here.
We need to make sure to be the ones in control. Us.
Come to you,
five.
Pop,
We
come to
need
you, Pop,
make
get
sure
out, Pop.
we kill the people
But
on point, by the way. Let's not get baited
This is
out.
basically how you get better as a bruiser.
I'm backing up,
Use your
Pop.
consumes.
I'm backing up.
Use your freaking consumes, especially the
My bad.
regions.
Our army is
Regions.
Dead on this.
Yep,
Saving your
top right,
cleanse
top right,
pot
right
to
side.
get out of a bad situation, filling out the fight, getting out when you feel it's dangerous. Saving your cleanse pot for
Alright,
roots,
we need-
like stuns and shockwaves and screams, and then getting out the fight, repositioning, getting into clumps,
Nothing for you then.
getting out, getting in clumps, putting out your damage, and then getting out. That's like the most important thing here.
Our A-Gate got completely wiped. We're gonna die here, Sparky. A-Gate got...
Yep.
And so this right here, this death right here,
That
it
pop
kind of
would
goes
be-
down to the same
would be
thing.
like-
This is
Let's
my
grab these,
position
okay?
here, so I think we're safe, right? But
Grab
then
me,
they got
grab me,
A-Gate
grab
up.
me.
I'm trying to follow my Bruiser
Nothing
here,
for you.
right? And by the time I look this way,
Going.
I'm like, oh my god, I think our A-Gate got completely wiped, and all these reds flood in from A-Gate, and I'm dead. Like, there's nothing I could do. This whole 5-10 man just came in and collapsed on us. We died here.
Our A-Gate got completely
I think
wiped.
even if my positioning was good, I would have died anyway. It would have been better if we just stayed at the gate there. That death, there's really nothing I could have done but position myself better. And I'm popping off this war. I'm going crazy.
Play the right side.
But that's gonna be pretty much that's pretty much it for the video here. It's like
He says we're waiting.
very basic stuff.
Yeah.
Using
Down
consumes,
for it. Just get your ult.
positioning yourself, seeing the fight all around you, seeing what's dangerous, what's not dangerous, when is it safe to go in. Using cleanse to push into the fort or using cleanse to
I'm in
get
that
out of
point
a
next
clump.
thing here, so-
But most importantly is using regens and oak flesh, and then using your abilities together with your
50,
fellow
20,
Bruiser
40. I'll wait,
or your fellow
Get
5-stack
your ult
here.
guys.
And I'll just kind of skip forward to
Get on point, get on point, get
when
on
we
point,
take
get
this
on
point here.
Get on point. Every single person matters. Pop. Yep.
So this is kind of
Keep doing this,
important
look at
here.
me,
So like
We got big wipes, Teddy. Look at point here.
your hammer abilities, it's so important. So I see all these healers, right? One last tip. This is very advanced level. One last tip. So this is how you win or lose a point, right? Is if whose healers are free casting and whose melees are better at using their consumes, right?
Look at point, look at point.
I'm pressuring this guy because he's so low. I'm like, I want to kill him. He's
Look
1
at me,
HP.
Look at me.
But you look, there's so many healers here. This guy's a healer. This guy's a healer. This guy's a healer. I think these guys are
Get
healers
on
up
point,
here.
Look at me.
I'm like, dude. Like I turn healer, 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 healer. There's so many healers here. Healer, healer, healer. I'm like, oh my god, I have to bother these healers. And I'm using my abilities here to try and stun lock them here so that they can't heal the point, so that their melees go down the point. So I'm bothering the crap out of the healers here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 healers here.
Look at point.
5 actually.
Look at point. Get on point. Get on point. Get on point. Top.
So right here I meant to Path of Destiny here, but I accidentally shockwaved instead. I'm like, oh god damn it. But this is
Look at top, 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 top.
here is what's so important. So I do damage to them, right? Don't kill them
Top,
anyway.
look at me.
I'm stunning them. I'm like stunning them. This right here. This healer dropped a sacred on himself. Who's over here? Nobody. This is a wasted sacred. This is like a big impact play right here.
They're coming in right side here.
And so right here, I'm toe tapping the point, and I'm trying to still bother healers, so they can't heal anybody here.
Look, right side point, right side point,
I'm
right side
toe
point.
tapping.
We're good. We won this.
I need
I'm stopping.
I'm pumping consumes
I'm
here,
stopping right now. Stopping right now. We got this shit.
Alright.
and we win the war here.
I guess.
And this is how pretty sure I came in top bruiser. Yeah, came in top bruiser. 21 kills, 8 deaths, 1 for melee damage. Came in as top bruiser. Wanted to come in at number 2, but I lost out to AoE healer and BBIG that I think was using
RB was stronger, Brent. 100%.
mortar. But I came in as the best bruiser this war, stat wise.
I think we wanted to random
And so, kind of skipping to the end of the VOD here. Again, look at my regens, oak flesh, health pots, right? So, kind of one of my tips is I like to have everything at 100 except for like my oak flesh. So 100 regens, 100 health pots, so that when the war ends, I can look at my consumes and see how much I use. And so this is how much consumes I used for this war. And so the main thing to living is using consumes, stamina management, knowing when to stam out, when not to stam out, saving your cleanse pots for when you're getting out of a dangerous clump or when you're leaving a bad fight and you feel that people are gonna crash you. And kind of the fourth one is just being hyper aware. I know it's a lot of chaos. You're fighting a lot of bruisers. There's a lot of shit going on right there, but you have to be like calm enough in the chaos to scan your surroundings, know when enemy reds are crashing you, and positioning yourself to when you're able to get out. When you see clumps, when you could create the clump and help wipe clumps, and then get out the clumps so you don't get counter grav. Those are probably the biggest, most common mistakes that I see when I watch people Bruiser. When I watch VODs, that's the most common thing that I see, and this is something that every Bruiser might have learned something from here. But yeah, if you guys like this video, thumbs up, comments, like, subscribe. Um, Let me know if you guys want like a part 2 of like an advanced bruiser class. Probably won't be as long as this video because I wanted to give a breakdown of like positioning, consumes, stamina management, taking good fights, scanning the area, and calling for heals from your healer when you need it. And so, um, pretty much all of it, boys. Thank you guys for watching, and catch you guys next time. See you guys on the battlefield. GG's.